today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a phenomenal guest with me. As usual, you already know that all my guests are special guests, and we have Terrence Perry with us today. Terrence, it is so great to have you here. Listen, we don't drop golden nuggets here. We drop platinum nuggets. Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, listen, a viewing audience, you need to go in and get your paper and pencil ready because Terrence is here to give you some platinum nuggets and you need to take notes. And you know what Maxine says, I don't only want you to take notes, I want you to share the information. So go ahead, contact your other connections and let them know that we are live here on Facebook so that they can listen to what Terrence Perry is going to be sharing with us. Terrence, I remember when we first met, it had to have been at least 10 years ago. Maxine was just getting started in the business of GAMS Unlimited, which was life and career coaching. Right. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, Terrence brought me on his radio show. I'm fresh out of the gate. But listen, when you have friends who believe in you, this is what they'll do for you. And these connections and this relationship has been building for over 10 years. So that's enough about me. So Terrence, tell us just a little bit more about you. I know you're a life coach. I know you're a community advocate. I know you got these wonderful networks going on, but let's allow the viewing audience to hear from you.
Well, as you just said, I am all of those things. And I think I was just getting started in the life coaching and becoming an author, I guess around 10 years ago. And I had got involved with that 10 years ago because my life had took a turn 2 years before that. It took a turn for the worse. I had gotten my second DWI and I was facing some jail time. And I was also looking at my age and stage at that time. I was, I think, 52 years old, and I was looking at I need to really make some transformational changes in my life. You met me about 2 years into that, where I had gone through the process of changing my life and becoming a life coach and an author. So I had gotten past the DWI, I got past the court proceedings. I didn't have to do prison time because I had used that time to change my life. Right. And I let the judge know that. And from that point on up until today, this is what I've been doing with my life. I've been a community advocate. I've written a book every year since then. So I'm on my 10th book now. And I'm a certified Christian life coach.
Wow, look at that. See, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I bring these phenomenal people on this show, is because it's about life strategies. It's about making change. It's about putting a plan in place and then executing it on it. Life strategies and levelless is about no levels. We believe that there are no levels. We continue to move forward. That's how we are successful. I know I'm your show host today, Maxine Phillips, but Terrence Perry is here and he is already dropping those platinum nuggets. Did you catch that, what he said? He just received 2 DWIs and he knew it was time for him to make a change. And that's where we are. We realize there are times for us to make a change, and making those changes is when we can put this strategy in place. The show is called The Life Strategies, but they could be called goals. They could be called blueprints. They could be called strategies, whatever you want to call them. You design what they need to look like and you start executing on them. So Terrence, you just said that not only that you change your life, but you have written 10 books. Now, tell me about one of the books, just one, because I know we want to tell about all 10, but we're just going to tell about one. So you choose which one book you want to talk about and just give us a little insight on what that book is about and the outcomes that it can help us.
Well, the one book is the book that I actually wrote about 10 years ago when I met you, and it was called Investing in Yourself.
Ooh, like
And I
that.
wrote the book because I had invested in myself. So the book was it was just a way to make that practical. And in becoming a life coach, I wanted to show people what I had gone through and how I had came out of a lot of the things that I have gone through. I have dealt with the IRS and had to pay back taxes. They was taking, they froze my accounts years ago. I had lost, I had lost a house. I had lost a car. So I showed that I had lost those things, but I also showed some strategies that I had put in place to regain the things that I really needed. I didn't need a great big house at that time, so I was, it was a blessing in the long run, that I did. I found me a smaller place that was cheaper, and it was less stressful trying to make the payments on it every year,
Right.
and so many other things. But that book is about investing in yourself, and it just showed how I went back and invested in myself. A little bit about my background as a child on up into adulthood. I've been a stutterer all my life. So at the age of 21, I was a junior in college, and I had asked God to take the stuttering away. And I said, if you take the stuttering away, I could do anything. And within 2 weeks, God had took the stuttering away. I was in college, and I had to do a speaking in the class, and I did, and I did a phenomenal job in speaking, doing that speech. So at that point, I realized that, if I put God first, I can do most anything. So, and I've always looked back on that when I have had these challenges, and I put that in the book also. When you ask God and that's where you put your faith, then those things can happen instantly. That's with that faith. Everything that I've gone through, God has revealed that to me. Every time I've asked God to take some away or whatnot, He's always done it. So that's a testimony for me. And that book again is called Investing in Yourself.
Investing in yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the title of that book, Investing in Yourself. Terrence wrote that book about 10 years ago, but he never stopped investing in himself. He is still investing. And one of the investments is being here today, sharing his platinum nuggets with us. So I encourage you right now to look it up and order it, because it's like anything else. Invest in yourself. And that's a nominal price to invest in yourself, because once you read this book and you start taking actions, the results are priceless. There is no amount of money that you can put on your results when you start taking action and you see that positive improvement. I love that. And investing in yourself, one of the things that we talk about from Leveler's perspective is an assessment, and that's investing in yourself to understand who you are from your core. And so when you start, I love the fact that you said you stepped out on faith. You start listening to, and I'm what I interpreted from it, you start listening to what your spirit was guiding you to do. And one of the directions was to write this book. And in writing this book, it sounds like to me, if I'm hearing you correctly, that you found healing even as a young man coming up by asking God to remove that stuttering. Now, my father stuttered for many years, many years, I think his entire life. And at times I find myself stuttering, because it can happen to any of us at any time, but we have some control. And one of the controls is faith. So we have two believers sitting here talking together. So I hope we don't start preaching to one another, but it very well could happen. So you all need to get ready. Just have your pen and paper ready. But I love that, investing in yourself. So as you started, go ahead.
I'm gonna say the subtitle is reinventing, and actually the title is reinventing yourself, investing in yourself, investing in you.
I love it.
Because I did change that title, I think about 6 years ago, to Reinventing Yourself. It's the same book with the same, the same chapters, but I did change it to Reinventing Yourself, Invest in You.
That is awesome. And you know what I'm sitting here thinking about was the fact that you went from investing in yourself and now you changed it because you transformed. And as you transformed, now you said reinvent yourself, because this is a result of you transforming. You're helping individuals to understand that, yes, once you invest in yourself, you're going through that transformation, and then you have an opportunity to show that now you have reinvented yourself. You're doing something totally different.
That's right.
I mean, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so take us from there. You wrote this book, you reinvented yourself. Now what has happened? Give us some other platinum strategies.
Well, as I went in and looked at the transformation of my life, I had to look at my relationships that I was getting involved in. I've transformed who I want to be in relationship with, because I started to understand those that I surrounded myself with would be the ones that help to either uplift me or they're going to bring me down. Right. And I had to start deciding who I wanted to be in relationship with, in terms of my friendships, in terms of my colleagues, and also in terms of my personal relationships with, my female counterpart. When I was drinking and partying, those are the type of women that I wanted to be interacting with, those that were drinking and partying. Mm-hmm. But when I changed from that, then I also was looking for a different type of female to be involved with. And that was major, because a lot of times, that's what we look to find that relationship. But if that relationship is not healthy, if it's toxic, if it's codependent, then those are the results that you're going to get in the relationships that you have. And I've just written a book, and I hadn't actually released it yet, but this book is about trauma bonds and those toxic relationships that I was just talking about. When I looked at my behavior patterns, I looked at all my previous relationships when I was drinking and partying, and those were trauma bond relationships. They were connected through trauma.
Ladies and
gentlemen, I had to go through that in order to see that.
Well, look at what you just shared. Trauma. You had to reevaluate the relationships that you were surrounding yourself with, whether it was friendship, whether it was someone that you're going to become very close to. The fact that you had to take time, you had to step back and take a higher look at what you had done, who you had been around, and now who you want to be around. And I love the fact that you said and who you were becoming, because it's all about a transformation. It's all about evolving. And as I'm hearing you talk about how you have evolved, ladies and gentlemen, did you pick up that platinum nugget about having to evaluate who you are surrounding yourself with and whom you are coming in contact with? So you have to do a self-evaluation of you first, and then look at who you're surrounding yourself with and make a determination. Is it moving you forward, or is it holding you back? Is it toxic? Is it negative? Is it positive? What's the impact? Listen, Terrence, platinum nuggets. Did I not say that?
Said it from the get-go.
Platinum nuggets. Okay. So that's a lifestyle change. That's a mindset shift. Exactly. All right. So take us from there. What has happened then?
Well, from then, we're actually doing that process. I was trying to uncover my root cause, because I knew my drinking wasn't just because, just because I wanted to drink. There was a root cause, there was a pattern, and I was trying to find my pattern. And as I mentioned, the childhood stuttering, that's what I guess initially I started drinking around the age of 12 or 13, because of course I was trying to fit in, and I was trying to cover up my stuttering by drinking. And so from the time I was from 13 on up, that was the way I had kind of covered up the stuttering, was by drinking. And then, that as if they say, you find your courage in a bottle,
Right.
and that's what I was doing. But also there was some loneliness when I really looked at it. I realized that even now I grew up in a family of 9 brothers and sisters,
Mm.
but there was a lonely component to who I felt I was at the time, because I guess with 9 brothers and sisters and me being a stutterer, I felt I was overlooked, because a lot of times in that working class family in the 60s, my parents working, and so by me stuttering the way I did, they didn't have time to take time to listen, and they kind of, they go to the next child. If you couldn't get your words out fast enough, then they go to the next one. So I kind of felt overlooked, and I think one of the ways I started coping was to, like I said, I started drinking at an early age, and I started hanging out with people that, because I wouldn't really talk a whole lot, but I hung out with people that did talk a whole lot, and I did the laughing. So they were the talkers, the people that I was hanging with, and I was the one, that was laughing at them. So I've always was with a person that kind of made me look kind of like the class clown, or made us look like, the class clown.
Mm.
I didn't have to say a lot, I could stand there and laugh, and that's kind of the way I kind of dealt with my peer group.
So how would you summarize what the example that you just showed us? How would you summarize that into a platinum nugget for our viewing audience?
Well, once I realized what I was covering up and why I was covering it up, again, that helped me to make that transformation as to how could I have to feel better about who I am and what I want to do.
Right.
And I still had to find my faith in God to understand that I am somebody, regardless of my stuttering, regardless of how I felt, I'm just as good as the next person. And I had to, I had to rebuild my self-esteem to where I'm comfortable with who I am, the way I am. And, that took time, and it's an ongoing process of accepting who you are as you are.
I love it. I love it, because what you just shared with the viewing audience, hello, did y'all pick up that platinum nugget? I still have to bring them to your attention in case you're not getting them. Make sure that you are understanding who you are and your values and who you are about, so that you're not having to hide behind someone else or having someone else to validate you. Because when you have that faith and you have that confidence and you have that self-esteem, you are the brand and the brand is you. So there's no reason to hide behind someone else. Be authentic, be the true you. And it would happen for you, just like it has happened for Terrence. Terrence has evolved, he has transformed, and look at what he's doing today. He's a community advocate. So talk to us a little bit about this community advocate that you're doing.
Okay, well, with the community advocacy that I'm involved in, and I got involved in it after, like I said, I had the 2 DWIs, and I had got beyond the case. I beat the case and started to transform my life, but I went back because I wanted to help others. Now, I already had a background in mental health and human services for 28 years. I had worked with teenagers for 20 years. And I had worked with young adults for an additional about 10 years or so. So I started doing advocacy work. I started going into the jails, started going into the prisons, doing coaching, and trying to help those who were locked up to understand what they needed to do once they were coming out of prison, how to put a plan in place. And, I became a certified life coach. So, we started looking at action steps, strategies that we needed to put in place. And several ways I do that. And the first thing that I ask, we have to determine the issue, determine what the issue is. Then we have to determine the motivation. How motivated are you to change that issue, or to work, to take action steps toward changing that? And a lot of times we work through that part and we get to, are these SMART goals? And we look at that. And we also started looking at the resources that when this person is coming out of either the prison system or coming out of homelessness or what have you, we put those strategies in place, but also those resources to connect them to. So part of what I do as an advocate, I'm connected to a lot of resources in the community, and I connect people to those resources, to those people, to those nonprofit organizations, to help them to get a good start once they come out of the system and going back into the community. Otherwise, within less than 9 months, they're back up in prison or doing the same thing. Even when it comes to addictions, you got to have those same strategies in place. Even if they're coming out of school. I did with the youth coming out of school, having a strategy in place, for college, military, work, get your driving license, have a plan and a strategy for what you want to do with your life.
But you just hit on a couple of things, because that coming out of school is, of course, it's so much. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, collaboration is so critical. And here Terrence is sharing with us about his community advocacy and the fact that he's connected with all of these individuals and associations and organizations that no matter what resource you need, he has someone or he knows someone who can assist you. So before I ask another question, I want to know, how can they get in touch with you? Because I think someone could be sitting out there right now and saying, I need to know how to get in touch with them. And they might need to get off and move and do something else. So give us a way to get in touch with you. What's the best way?
Well, my email address is tperry5000@gmail.com.
Okay.
If you get in touch with me through email, I give my phone number, which is 919-986-6046. I'm connected with the Justice Serve advocacy organization. I'm also connected with the Fathers Forever program with Glenn Warren. They have a lot of fathers that's dealing with child support and those issues. But so even in contacting those agencies, you could also go through me to connect with those also. But with my phone number and my email, or you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on LinkedIn, and you can find me on Instagram also as Terrence Perry or T Perry, and you'll see my same, my same brand, my advocacy. You'll see my, me as an author, the books I'm writing, and also the self-coaching that I'm involved in. All of those are on the LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram.
That's awesome. So ladies and gentlemen, you already know how to get in touch with him. So make sure you write that information down. And we're also going to post it on Facebook, where you will find this video posted as well. So Terrence, as I heard you talk about, even the justice system that you're involved in, and you've got all these young men who's coming out and, that need that support, or you have individuals who, like you said, overcoming addictions and need that support. Right. So I love the fact that you talked about all these strategies that not only that you have to put in place, but ladies and gentlemen, in life, period, you must put a strategy in place. And I'm using the word must. And I'm being, I'm being direct about it, because if you do not have a strategy or you don't have goals, you're subject to take yourself in any direction. And that's depending on who's in front of you, who's talking to you, who's whispering in your ear, who's enticing you, who's trying to get you to do things that you shouldn't be doing because you don't have a strategy. Is there a strategy you helping them to accomplish? So I love the fact that that book you wrote, Invest in Yourself, because investing in yourself is not only purchasing a book, it's not only attending a class, but it's also having a mentor. Having a mentor who can start mentoring you and helping you, or as a sounding board. Because many times, Terrence, I needed someone to just talk to. Even as an entrepreneur, a business owner, I still needed a mentor. I still needed someone to talk to, because you don't know it all. And the important thing is for us to always be a lifelong learner. Keep ourselves open so we can learn from the universe and learn from individuals. And I'm going to say this one other thing before I ask you a question. Is the fact that you took time again, to reevaluate where you were, what you were doing, and what it was you saw yourself wanting to do or moving towards doing. And so you had a vision. If I'm understanding this correctly, you had a vision and you started working that vision by creating those goals. So that's another platinum nugget for us, is to make sure that we always have goals for ourselves. Right. All right. So what else would you like to share with us?
Well, next Saturday on June 11th, I have an event coming up. It's called a Community Empowerment Showcase event.
Okay.
And with that event, myself and 11 other authors will be showcasing and launching our books, some their first book. And these are local authors that have a background in health and human services, mental health, counseling, coaching, and they are right here in the Wake County, Raleigh area. They'll be at the Doubletree Hotel by Crabtree Valley Mall off Glenwood Avenue. Right. And this will be from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. next Saturday, June 11th. The event is free. We'll have books, we'll have t-shirts, we'll have coffee mugs, we'll have, different merchandise that people can come and get. And I know there's a lot going on next Saturday. There's a lot of school graduations. There's a lot of other community events going on, but I'm asking people to come by this event, even if you just come by to grab a book, grab a t-shirt, to take to another event to give to someone as a gift or whatnot. We have different, we got coaches, counselors, pastors, social workers, chaplains. All these people are going to be in one room. It's going to be electrifying. We had events such as this last year, and it transformed lives.
And it will transform lives. Yes, I can feel it. I can sense it. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps from it and everything, because that transformation is so critical. And with these authors being out there, with these advocates being out there and willing, it can be a place where you come and you think you're just going to browse and look around, but that one question could be burning in your soul that you need an answer to. And you have all these individuals out there who's willing and open to help you. The event is free. It's not going to cost anything to get in there, but go, because you just never know who you're going to meet when you are there. And exactly. Be open. I love the fact that you're putting it together. I love the location. I would love to even come, but I know. If my grandbaby has not arrived, I'm on standby right now. But if he arrives, then I'll be there to support, but I'm on standby. It's any day, any minute, any second, one of those deals. But it's still the same thing, because a grandbaby is transforming generations, because what we are doing here is talking about how we can take hold to our life, control our life. There's a saying that I say, career is a lifetime, because how often do people ask us, what do we want to be when we grow up? Usually about the age of 5, we start getting that question. And it's a continual thing. You talked about setting goals for even when you're coming out of high school, when you're in high school, so that you know what it is that you're going to do. And that's what we do here at Levelers. We work with those high school students. And so we have a camp out there right now that they can register for. But I want you all to go. So how do they they don't have to register since it's free. No, it's free. Right. And is it on your website, just an event that we can make sure that we put the link out there afterwards as well?
I don't think it's on the website. It's on Facebook. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram. Yeah, and it's on LinkedIn. All the other authors, they have it also on their Facebook page. Okay. I think that the host is going to be Sean Ingram. He's hosting. Sean Ingram is the owner of Sean Ingram's Academy. Right. He's local here in Raleigh also. He's an author, he's a poet, he's a musician,
He's
And
dynamite. All of y'all are dynamite.
that's
Trust
right.
me. I keep up with all of you. All of you. Y'all are so powerful in the community and the way that you're giving back. And not only just helping our young Black men, but you're helping anybody who wants to be helped. You're available for them. So I love that as well. So, okay, so we got this event coming up and it's about community engagement. So what other nuggets would you like to drop? Because listen, Terrence is involved in a lot of things. This man not only knows a lot of people, he's involved in organizations, associations, and he has dedicated his life to advocacy, to helping others move forward in life and becoming who God has created them to be. So I always like to leave the floor open and let you tell us some more information that you want to share with us.
Okay, well, one of the things that I want to let people know that I do have a book that should be available at the end of June, and it's called "Address the Issue, Understand the Assignment." Ooh. And address the issue, understand the assignment. Again, we're talking about helping people to take the steps from high school age to college to midlife, even to retirement. We're asking those same questions. Determine the issue, what's motivating you. Again, even in retirement, we're talking about how to address that, what kind of legacy you want to leave. And that starts from the time you come out of high school, you start making a decision what you want to do with your life, how you want to move forward, and so forth and so on. In this book, Address the Issue, I talk about the 30 different issues in life that we all deal with, from the time we come out of high school to the time we get to retirement. Anything that you can think of, whether it's going to college, whether it's budgeting, most anything you can think of that's going to help you to transform your life or take your life to the next level, I'll address it as an issue. And that book will be out July the 1st. Get a copy of that book. It's going to also be on audio. You got to have it. It don't matter what age. If you're 18 to 70, you need that book in hand. And it's just a practical guide to help people that want to get to the next level in their life. And it's just showing the action step that it takes to do that.
So listen, I know the book is coming out on July 1st, but let's do a pre-order. So listen, we're going to put the information out there on Facebook, but go on. If you listen, you can watch this on Monday because it's going to be air on June the 6th. But if you're watching it afterwards, go to his website and look for the book so that you'll know. You're talking about assignments. That's one of the things that when I'm working with clients, that's the word that God gave me to use 10 years ago, assignment. And it's called job search assignment. So people are looking for jobs. And I'm like, no, you need to look for your next assignment. You don't need to look for no job.
Right, that's right.
Because when I say career is a lifetime, but life is a project. And a project has a beginning date and an end date. And so does life, right? So that dash between our birth date and our end of life date, everything we do is about that dash. Right. And that's what Terrence and I are doing today. We're talking about legacy building. We're talking about transformation. We're talking about you taking control of your life. We're talking about a shift in mindset. And, Terrence, you talked about high school students. Well, I take them from middle school all the way through retirement. So, when you said that, it's like that was just music to my ears because God gave me workshops. Before he even gave me the clientele, he gave me the workshops to create. And my workshops takes the individuals from middle school all the way through retirement. Yeah. So you just have to trust. You have to believe in yourself and trust the process. And when you have faith, you just step out on faith and do what your spirit is guiding you to do. Absolutely. It does not lead you wrong. Because all these years, I'm thinking, why am I creating all these workshops, right? It seemed like I'm never getting through any doors, not knocking down any windows, or nobody of opportunities is coming to my path, in my way. But it didn't matter because it's not when my time. Timing is everything.
Right.
And when we just be patient and allow it to flow and allow it to happen organically. And we have to stop thinking about someone is taking our ideas and running with it. If God gave you the assignment, it's your assignment. Now, if you choose not to accept that assignment, he's going to move it on to someone else who will. So just know that. Am I right, Terrence?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's your assignment whenever you're ready. If you don't take the assignment, somebody else will, and you'll be looking down the road at, I thought of that. I was going to do that. I should have did that, but okay, shoulda, coulda, woulda. The assignment was yours. Are you ready to take on that assignment? If not, get ready. Get you a mentor. Get you someone that can help you, an accountability partner that can help you to take on that assignment. The assignment is going to be bigger than you anyway. So look again to network or find that person that's next to someone in your network. Know somebody that can help you to understand the assignment that's for you, and to help you to complete that assignment and move on to the next assignment.
And that's where I had a default in life many times. It's because I had got these assignments. They were much larger than what my capabilities were, but I did not reach out to other people who had the skill set. And that's where collaboration comes in. And ladies and gentlemen, there are enough people in this world for everybody. Terrence and I both are life coaches. There are enough people. We can collaborate. The whole objective is to what? Meet the mass, reach the mass, make sure that we're out there, that we are helping individuals transform, whether they're in middle school, high school, young adults, seniors. When you get ready to retire, hello, as a senior before retirement, let's make sure that you have a plan in place on what you're going to do with your life after you retire. The last thing you want to do is retire and don't have a plan or goals or something in place. You have all this experience. Think about being a mentor. I mean, there are plenty of young people who would enjoy, I would enjoy having a senior mentoring me, even at my age. Because that wisdom is priceless.
Absolutely.
You know, as Proverbs tells us, what? Get wisdom, but in all that ways, get an understanding. You can have wisdom, but if you don't understand how to use it, it's just wisdom sitting there within you. So you have to have application. I am loving what I'm hearing. I am so thankful that we have had this opportunity to come together and hear more about all the great things. I knew you were doing a lot of great things because I keep up with you on Facebook and LinkedIn. But I knew that we needed to sit down and let the viewing audience understand all of the gifts, all of the abilities that God has already given you. And they too have many. They just need to discover them, identify them, or confirm them, and then start using them. Yeah. So what would be some of the final closing remarks you'd like to make?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak and just kind of share what I'm doing in the community. Hopefully someone is listening, and hopefully I'm speaking to someone out there that where like I said, they would pick up on a nugget or two or three and run and run with it, because no one should be without when 7 billion people on the planet. We have each other, but we have to understand that when you run into somebody or you meet somebody, it's not by accident. It's by an assignment. And don't just assume, okay, I just met someone, and that, understand when you meet someone, there's a purpose behind that. You got to know, don't let that person walk by you or leave you and you not either, learn something from that person, meet that person, see what it is that you and that person can collaborate on some, or that person can introduce you to the person that you really need to meet. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm having this event on June 11th next Saturday, and I tell not just the authors, but others in that room, don't be in that room and don't network with everybody that's going to be in that room. There's going to be plenty of opportunity. But if you don't see the opportunity in the people that you run into, you're missing so much of what is right before your eyes. It's like, it's in plain sight. These are opportunities.
Yes, yes. And when the opportunity presents itself, you need to be ready,
Right
and I know
then.
James Brown used to say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So it's just one of those. And that's what we do here. We help you to understand how you can always stay ready and be open. And many times go to these networking events. No, it might not pertain to everything that you do, but you don't know who's going to be there that you need to be, who knows the other person that can introduce you to. We used to be 6 degrees from separation, but it's no longer that with the internet, with everything being virtual. You're only 1 degree because you can look up so many different people on the internet and do so much research and then reach out. On the LinkedIn, they have either a telephone number, an email address. You can directly introduce yourself to them right there on LinkedIn. And there's a workshop that I created, Terrence. It's called Make Every Connection Count.
Absolutely.
Make every connection count, because that's what we need to do. And then connecting is not always about you. It's not always about what's in it for me. It's about how can I help you? When you introduce yourself, find out how you can help that person, not what that person can do for you.
Absolutely.
And then that's networking, that's building relationships. And when you look, 10 years ago we met and we still keep in touch with one another. Hello. That's what I'm talking about. Building, that's a relationship. It's not a contact. Now, contact is when you have a person's telephone number, email address in your telephone, and it's only just there. You don't do anything with it. Or you have a business card and you're just looking at it and you have not done anything with it. But a connection and building relationships, and when you reach out to them, and find out how are they doing? What can you do to help them? What goals do they have in place that you could collaborate? And many times I tell people, what can I do behind the scene for you? Because I can't always come to different places, but I can do something behind the scene for you. And that's how I end up helping a lot of people. And they don't have to mention my name. It's not about me getting recognition for it. It's about me knowing that I was able to help them move their vision forward. And then by doing that, we're helping them transform other lives.
Transform lives.
Yes. One of my taglines is transforming generations, leaving legacies. Because when we transform those generations, and these young people go back home and they start telling their other siblings or the parents who have not had that exposure, we're transforming generations right then and there. And you're dropping those legacies, you're leaving those legacies so that when they get older, guess what they're going to do? They're going to tell their kids about all the things that they learned. My children do it right now with their children. And so you talked about coming from a family of 9. I come from a family of 12. I'm the eighth of those 12. Yes. A says new beginnings. And my mother didn't know she was getting a new beginning with me.
Well, I'm born on the 8th. So everything is new beginning is a part of my journey. Those new beginnings every so many years, I'm starting a new beginning all over. It's a different journey.
I love it. And it's a part of the journey. It's an extension of your journey. And that's what life is. Life is a journey. I mean, it's a continual thing until we're no longer here. And the other thing, I don't know about you, but sometimes people used to say, and I know I got my grandbaby being born, right? And so they always say, you come into this world with nothing and you leave this world with nothing. And I always say, well, I challenge that. I beg to differ. I don't think that way. I say, you come into this world with love. Because the person who's carrying you usually have that love for you. The people who are outside on the outside waiting on you to get here, they're loving you before you even enter into the world. And then when you're no longer here, you're taking love with you. It's already in your heart. Those people who've already shared with you how much they love you. And so when people say you come into this world with nothing and you leave with nothing, I'm like, that's not true. Come in here with love and you leave with love.
Right, that's right.
And so, but thank you again for being here. Thank you for sharing these wonderful platinum nuggets with our viewing audience. I know there's going to be some awesome takeaways. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to go out, connect with Terrence, purchase the book, Investing in You. There's another book that's going to be released on July 1st. We're going to put the name of it out there, pre-order, so that we can go on and get some orders scheduled. We need to make him a best-selling author with this next book coming out. Okay.
Say it again.
Yeah, we need to make him a best-selling author with this book coming out in July. So we need your help. And this is where the community can rally around Terrence. He's a community advocacy. This is how you all can help him, is help him to become that best-selling author. I mean, because he is. He's already an author. And to me, an author is not always meaning that you have to put words on a piece of paper. See, his authorship is by sharing with you what God has already imparted in him. And so we have to look at things totally different. I'm an out-of-the-box thinker, Terrence. Hey, I don't think status quo, like we have to help our viewing audience to start looking at things differently. There's nothing wrong with the way you think and the way you look at things, but there's always another side to how you can look at a situation.
Right.
So we're going to post all of your great information out here on Facebook. We're going to put your LinkedIn account, your Facebook account, and all of your website information and the telephone number out there so individuals can connect with you. Now, are the books on Barnes & Noble, Amazon? Where do they purchase the books?
Yeah, Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Okay.
Books A Millions, okay. all the major platforms, book platforms. The books is on. You could Google me.
Okay.
And that's gonna take you to you'll see my books. A lot of the books when you Google, just Google Terrence Perry, and from there, it'll happen.
All right.
I'm just a Google away.
As that one level of separation away, and LinkedIn and Google, you can always find so much information out there. All right, well, that's going to do it for today, and with Mr. Terrence Perry here sharing all these platinum nuggets. I thank you again for being my special guest. This is Maxine Phillips, your show host on Life Strategies, and remember, I believe in you, and I trust you believe in yourself. Meet me back here, same time, same day, same station, next week. Take care.
Thanks, Maxine.